Yeah. So writing this book's in, but every day I try and jot down a couple of things when the brain clicks. And one of my friends is helping me to write the book as well. Super intelligent lady. You know what I'm saying? Super intelligent university graduate. But I'm gonna write the book, and she gonna do the rest. You see me? And the book is just gonna be about general experiences. It's gonna be like basically like touch on relationships. But it's gonna be general things that we're gonna talk about. My personal experiences, and I'm sure other people's experiences as well, because one thing I've always said that we all go through similar things, maybe at different points in life. It's going to talk about a variety of things. That's why I'm trying to gain certain subject matters. So if you have certain subject matters, if you have certain experiences, if you've seen certain psychological patterns in human beings, just send them across, because obviously we're trying to do big things now. You get what I'm saying? We're not doing small things. We're not thinking small minded. And it was hard for me. I straight out, the hardest thing for me, even though it was easy, was people's perception. That was the hardest thing for me, because I knew what I actually wanted to do, but then at points I'm thinking, most human beings, when you write certain things or when you do certain things, they're so small-minded that they just cocoon it into he's speaking about him. It's like if I go down the road today and somebody say fuck off, that's my personal experience, but it doesn't mean that a million of other people don't go down the road or go somewhere and somebody tell them to fuck off as well. You understand what I'm saying? So I was thinking about people's perception. But then I kind of realized that if you think about what people think you're doing, then it kind of limits you. Because my thing with everybody, I'm kind of like an introvert, right? And I was stuck in this mindset of, I've got capabilities, but I was just stuck in this mindset that we are all in. All of us, most of us, just existing and doing certain things and doing the same fuckeries on social media and everything. But I kind of thought to myself that I've got a purpose. You understand what I'm saying? And one of the things I like to do is to analyze things. I like to self-analyze, and I like to analyze things. And in this world that we live in, there's a million of different things you can analyze. I like human psychology. I don't think it's something that you have to go college to understand. You just have to read human beings. There's so much, right? So when this book comes out, just support it. You understand what I'm saying? And what reiterates what I'm actually doing at the moment is because I've seen so many people doing it. And I kind of respect them. I've got to respect them because certain things that they do, certain things that they speak about, right? I can apply it to it's happened to me. So I get to realize that I'm like to myself, why care about what people think? People are just hypocrites, as a Tupac would say. They're just hypocrites. You speak about something and they know it's happened to them, or it's happened to somebody that they know, but because you speak about it, they just look at it in a personal way. You understand what I'm saying? And I listened to like 2 videos this morning, and it was like spot on, because I've thought about this a long time. but just to know that other people have thought about it as well, and coaches, you understand what I'm saying, like relationships in this life. And one of the things that the person, Stefan, right, so he's a life coach or whatever he is, one of the things that he spoke about is, and these are the things that pushes people away. I don't know, these things push me away. Number one, it's like liars. And I've said this before in certain situations. People tell white lies. But you've got people who, I don't understand that people lie about the smallest thing. I'm just going to give you an example, like they could walk down to the KFC, and you ask them if they went down to the KFC, for example, and they say no, and then you're wondering to yourself, but why? Why say no? Because there's no repercussions of saying, yes, I did go down to the KFC. You've got people that lies about the smallest thing, even if there's no repercussions. Sometimes we can understand why people lie, because there are repercussions. They tell the truth. You understand what I'm saying? But people will lie about the smallest things. And the next thing is, and I've sussed this out, like, how would I put it? People who take no accountability. People who take no accountability. You're never fucking wrong. Let's put mathematics in this equation. Probability. What's the probability of you existing 20 years on Earth, 30 years on Earth, 40 years on Earth, right? And you're never wrong. In your interactions with family members, when you're speaking about, you're never wrong. With friends, you're never wrong. And people fall into this trap, and these people will go to people and they might say things, and you get people that backs them. Like, but use your brain. Like, real recognize real. How comes you're never wrong? And if somebody is not willing to take accountability, and you see the way how they deal with things, right? Those people make your life a living hell. How do you sort situations out when somebody can't say, yeah, I think I could have done this. I think just look within. You can't help a situation where somebody is not willing to look within. Right? Gaslighting. Now, what's gaslighting? People who say everything bad about someone in order to gain some kind of reaction. They just, it doesn't matter if you're good to them, they just say everything bad to make somebody look at you like, phew. You understand what I'm saying? And then you're left asking with the question like, but why? Obviously, we know the reason why, because when people want people to look on you a certain type of way, then obviously they're gonna bring your name in a negative way. Like, these are all the things, like, you can't fuck with someone like this. Next thing is selfish people. This is a question a question and a statement as well, right? Anyone who was evolved or ascended or escalated, or who have self-improved, 9 out of 10 times you haven't self-improved on your own. 9 out of 10 times you self-improved because someone has sacrificed. Someone put themselves on the line. This is what sacrifice means. Someone put themselves on the line. Somebody restricted their growth. Somebody had to accept your bullshit for you to reach where you are now. You're not just there because, so you're suffering, right? You're suffering, and all of a sudden you're the prime minister, and like, okay, what's the odds of that? So nobody sacrificed for you. You're just making it now. I can't, I'm using these things to put in my book. And I've always said to myself, like, how do people actually fuck people over that they know help them to reach certain places? How do people actually look within themselves or look on people and say, I've made it. No one has helped me. You know how they do that? Because the world that we live now is, you have the man who builds the house and you have the man who lives in the house. If you speak about building the house, people will say that you're speaking about what you've done. But the man who lives in the house, he's content within the closed wall, these four walls, to tell the man that builds the house that you didn't do fuck all. But if the man who builds the house exposed, like, yo, what the fuck you saying? I built this house. I earned this money. I got the block, I got the steel, I got the cement, I got the labor. I built this house. You inherited from the investment or the effort that I put into this house. Then they say, boy, you're the bad person. So secrecy can be a motherfucker in this day and age. Because you'll be keeping your mouth secret and they'll be just killing you. It's weird. The next thing is negative people. I've spoken about this before. Negative people. My grandmother told me one thing. Say you can say one thing at this end, and by the time it gets down to at that end, it's completely different. And I know it's similar, but it's different. But negative people. And I've always said this to myself. Nobody teaches me nothing. I learn. I'm far from dumb, right? I've always said this to myself. If you get 5 different people and you say one thing in that environment where those 5 people are, right? The way how each individual process that information will dictate how that person looks at you. Because you can say one thing in an environment and this person understands exactly what you say. And funny enough, it's not like you put them to the side and you explain to them like, yo, this is what I meant. They just understand it because they respect you. They love you. They embrace you. And the other person who secretly hates you, they're looking at it like, oh, he says it, I'm going to kill this person. He said that. You see, different processing. And those different processing comes from how that person really looks at you. I remember I said this one time, right? Say I'm living my best life. Somebody cussed me out. Yeah, but you say you're living your best life. I'm like, okay. I said to myself, what does living my best life means? I don't know what it means. You tell me. But then I'm like, but you're attributing me saying I'm living my best life to being negative. Because you're actually saying that, oh, you said you're living your best life, so you're doing this. I'm like, okay. So, living my best life is seeing my best friend. Living my best life is going to the gym. Is living my best life means taking care of my kids. Is living my best life taking care of my family. Is living my best life buying a new drawers when the old drawers is mashed up. Is living my best life having a manicure. You understand? That's just a positive statement. I'm living my best life. How did it come from this to actually this? How? So I'm finding like things to write in this book. I don't want to rush it. But it's just human beings are weird. They're weird. I've seen people, metaphorically speaking, right? I've seen people benefit from people directly. I've seen people being in the position to do things that would improve their life and fuck the bag up. Right? I've seen people fuck other people's bag up. Like those people trusted them with. And yet still on the flip side, those people will say to you that you've never done nothing for them. You've never given them nothing. Like, and your brain is trying to fathom it. It's like, seriously? It doesn't make sense, innit? It doesn't make sense. Because your brain is like, then how comes you're in that position? Who put you in that position? Remember when you nearly died? Who saved your life? You remember when everyone isolated you? Who fucked with you? It's weird. So with all this said and done, I'm not making videos, putting it out on YouTube. I'm gonna write a book. And I've got excerpts from the book ready, but I'm not rushing it. And there's so much other things I wanna say. I've seen people mention abuse. And then you ask yourself the question, but I don't know, maybe I'm different. I'm not here trying to say I'm more intelligent than the other person, because I think everybody's intelligent, but people know when to use their intelligence, or people know when to act a certain way, but when they want to manipulate a certain thing, then they are, oh my God. And then when they're in that closet and nobody sees them, they're like, what you got mental, physical, emotional, you got money, anything that you do over the top is abuse. Not because somebody physically abused you doesn't mean you don't fucking mentally abuse them. Lying about somebody's abuse consistently is abuse. It's not just physical abuse. What about emotional abuse? You have people who abuse people by monetarily, who fucks with somebody money. You have all different type of abuse. Victimization. How comes you're always the victim? And I've always said this to myself, right? It's just like people are not real. People are not real. You're always the victim. But I think people can read through the bullshit, really. You know what I'm saying? Every one of us here, before we die, we've got a personality trait. We've got an identity. It doesn't mean it's overly real and everything, because I'm sure if you go to the police station, they might look at you and say, yo, this person. I'm far from that. But then again, that's where manipulation come into it. Some people know how to manipulate the thing and make you look a certain type of way. You can't fall in that in that trap. You understand what I'm saying? And I've seen people who are the worst of the worst, but when it suits them, they act the best of the best. And then when the eyes are not looking, then they're the worst of the worst. And everybody knows they're the worst of the worst. It's just weird. By the way, when this book comes out, I don't remember the title of the book now, but when the book comes out, it's going to be on Amazon. I'm not rushing it, so probably be a couple of months. Just support the thing. Support the movement. Just be real. You know, I speak about something. I'm going to speak. I wrote this about emotions and logics. Now, what you have to understand that there's two things in life. Emotions and logics. You understand what I'm saying? Emotions can change. You smile, you laugh, you cry, you run, you walk. All that happens because of emotions. Emotions can change. Emotions, you can see a car out there. Like your brother broke into a car out there and the car was pink. And the police come and ask you a question. But because he's your brother, right, you say the car was red. Emotions change. Logics doesn't change. You understand what I'm saying? Emotions change, logics doesn't change. It's just like a next emotional thing. Like in this society now, we get people, oh, all men are bad. All men are not bad. That's just emotional speech. And who's going to say that most of the time? Women are going to say that. Stupid women are going to say that most of the time. But then again, they're teaching their brain something. That means when they eventually meet a good man, they don't even know how to process it, because we all know how changes happen. Changes happen when you keep on telling yourself, no, when people start believing things. You know what I'm saying? The moment you start telling your brain like this is how things are, even when you see something different, you won't know the difference. Emotions, people say, all women are good. What do you mean all women are good? That's just emotional speech. Be individualistic. Not emotional. And I dig into certain things a long time ago where I don't get emotional. I see people for who they are. It doesn't mean I hate people. You could be the closest person to me. If you're a liar, you're a fucking liar. You get what I'm saying? If you're a cunt, you're a cunt. I'm saying all these things based on your actions. If you're an abuser, you're an abuser. If you're a manipulator, you're a manipulator. If you're vulgar, you're vulgar. If you're loud, you're loud. It doesn't mean I'm dissing you. I'm just being a realist. I'm taking away the emotions. Because that's one of the main things in life nowadays. We all have prejudices. People feel like, oh, it's my family member, but so my family member is a snake. But let me protect the snake. You're in a box. You're in an illusion. You don't protect somebody who's got a fault. You tell that person they've got a fault so that person change. You don't use emotions. Not that you're killing the person, but you don't use emotions to fix problems. You use logics. You know somebody's fucked up in the head. You tell that person you're a fucking crazy motherfucker. That's not emotional, that's just logics, because you can see things what the person is doing. You know somebody's a liar. You're a fucking liar. Go and get help. You're a pathological liar. You are a manipulator. Be real. So there's a lot of things in this book. So check it out when it comes out. It's going to be on Amazon anyway. Get me?